Whew, good morning, everyone. Just got done finishing my coffee and I gotta get some house chores done and excuse the bedhead. Get some house chores done so that way I can get cleaned up. Anyhow, let me put my. I want to see what the difference is with this wind sock. That was without it. Now this is with it. So let me try like that, but I gotta get cleaned up and not me. Well, yeah, I do too, but I gotta do some housework, do some house chores, and then get cleaned up. So I can make that salsa for today. Today I'm gonna make tacos. Taco Tuesday. Today is Taco Tuesday and it is June 17th. So let me get this house cleaned up a little bit and go from there. Get our day started. It's a little late, but slept in a little bit. And then I was drinking my coffee and catching up on some vlogs, catching up on some of the. I actually got mentioned in a vlog today, so that was cool. That was real cool. It boosted my morale. So thanks, Luis. Thanks for the shout out. You know what? Let me get cleaned up. I want to tell you how you actually pronounce my name. Shit got me sweating. Alright, see how this goes, guys. I actually got a selfie stick. It goes to my phone, but I figured out a way to put this GoPro on there. Again, I'm using the GoPro Hero 7, no external microphone. This is all internal. As a matter of fact, earlier you saw me fiddling around with the windsock. I really couldn't find a windsock to fit this GoPro for the mic, because supposedly it has like 3 mics. Excuse me. So I made my own windsock for it to cover all the mics and just leave the lens exposed, but I was fiddling around with it earlier and I can't find it, so I don't know what happened to it. I have a feeling that the puppy grabbed it and took it under the couch with him. But as you saw, dinner was done. The salsa came out. It's pretty good. It's pretty hot. For some reason though, once I started eating it with dinner, it mellowed out. It wasn't as spicy as when I first tasted it. So The girls will like it when they get home. My wife and my daughter, they'll like it when they get home. I'm gonna take this outside and got me a little drink. Made me a little whiskey and Coke, you know, just to end the night. My little nightcap. And let me take this outside. It's hot as hell. It's hot, but oh well. We'll go. Let me try to do this with one hand. Yeah. No. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Hope it looks good. I didn't even taste this. I hope this tastes good. Yeah, it's good. Whew. All right. Let me try this again. Today's vlog, I wanted to talk about my YouTube journey. I was looking back at my videos at my channel earlier today, and I did when I first started this YouTube channel of mine back in November. It's been about 8 months now, and I went back to just check on my channel, and I noticed I had like a 2-month update on my YouTube journey when I first started this YouTube channel. And I think I already said that. I'm just repeating myself. Anyway, I'm not going to change my word anyway either, but man, I can't catch my breath. This is what my wife says. Catch your breath. Shut up. Catch your breath. So when I did that video on my 2-month update, I had, I think at the time, like 60 maybe subscribers. And it's been what, 6 months since then, and I'm only at like 90 some subscribers. But what I'm getting at is, when I first started this journey, I was so worried about everything else, about my niche, however you say it. Worried about my niche, worried about the lighting, worried about my gear, worried about the camera, if I'm using the right camera, worried about a microphone. So I procrastinated a lot. So once I started doing the videos, I immediately started looking into the analytics and how many views I had and how many subscribers I was getting, and just the whole analytic part of it. And maybe for like the first, or I shouldn't say the first month, but yeah, maybe the first month after realizing or kind of really reading into the analytics, in one of my other videos I described, or I talked about this book, the YouTube formula, and I read this and started learning about thumbnails and titles and algorithms and attention spans and hooks and the whole 9 yards, and even started watching YouTube channels on filmmaking and making it cinematic and everything. I won't go deep into this, but for about the first 4 weeks after discovering the analytics, that's what I did. I studied the book, I studied YouTube. I found a bunch of people on YouTube, you know, that were talking about how to start a YouTube channel, mainly how to start a YouTube channel. So I was doing that, and I posted my first few videos, and it was like, okay, where am I going with this? And I really didn't know, and I even explained that in one of my first videos. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go with the how-tos, with just every day of my life being retired, or stick to my grandfather's life book that I'm writing for my grandkids. I didn't know which way to go with this. So I kind of messed around with all of it, so if you go look at my channel, that's kind of why I'm all over the place. But I did try to create playlists to keep it simple. So if you go to my playlist, it's My Thought Does Life, which is the book I'm doing for my grandkids. Then it's my YouTube journey, which is whatever I started. I can't remember what I put in that playlist, and I don't have my computer on right now. And then I have my vlog now, my vlog journey. So with my vlog journey, I found other creators on here that were vlogging, and you know, that I kind of resonated with. I'm like, I like their style, I like their flow, like what they talk about, what have you. But a few of them I did find go into more of a commercial mode. You know, well, to create the best vlog, you need to get this program and click on this and click on that, and you know, if you want the best lighting, you know, click on this, click on that. So I was kind of veering away from that. Then I started kind of getting discouraged. And then I found a few guys on here that kind of responded to some of the comments I left on their videos, and it still was it was okay because I was starting to engage more, because it says, you know, you need to build engagement in order to build a community, which is true. So I started to build engagement with other vloggers, but that I can resonate with, that were more down to earth, weren't selling anything, kind of like newbies, but not so new, kind of like someone new to where they're still new enough to lend me a hand if I need it, but good enough to where I want to follow them or follow their style. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because that's one thing I'm not as a follower. But if I like their flow, if I like their style, well then all right, I kind of know more or less what I need to do to get some similar to that, what have you. So I started engaging with these vloggers, and it still felt kind of like, I'd start doing my videos. I did a couple driving videos, and it just felt weird talking to myself, talking to the camera. You know, I'm still not used to it. I'm still trying to get comfortable with it. And I see these guys out there in public, at the coffee shops, they're at Starbucks, excuse me, they're at Target. They're, you know, they're just out and about, and it's like I try that. You know, I drive somewhere and I get off the truck, and it's like I just feel, it's like I don't want the attention on me if I'm holding a camera. And then I don't have a small selfie stick yet, or something small to hold my camera, you know, the GoPro that I'm using. Well, it wasn't until recently that a few of the vloggers that I commented back on my videos. You know, the first comments, or the first responses I got from them, was from me commenting on their videos. Then they would comment back. But now that they're starting to comment on my videos, it's like it's opened up a new door. The first comment that I really resonated with, that felt like, oh, they've noticed me, was from Luis, and Luis actually mentioned me, you know, in his vlog. In the very next day, he did a vlog and he mentioned me. And so that's kind of where I'm at with this now. I feel like somebody's almost ready to take off the rope, that red rope, and let me in to this party that everyone's having fun at. And the thing is that everybody in this party, they're having fun because they're all good people, and they all seem to be my people. Just good-hearted, genuine people. We all have similarities. Some of these guys are tech guys, gear guys. I'm just starting out. So in order to have a good community, or let's say a good team, you know, you kind of want to bring a little bit of everything to the table. So even though I'm not a tech guy, I'm not a camera guy, what have you, I'm not a gearhead, I do have life experiences, and I do have some cool stories. And I really didn't know what to do my videos on. I know I had the book to do it on, but I was kind of getting bored with that because I felt like no one was listening. Well, again, now that I'm getting engagement from this community and from other vloggers, now it's making me want to get out and tell my stories. It's making me want to get active and get up and do more things. At first, I was worried about the lights, the gear. I was wanting to make sure I was ready to start these videos. I wanted them to be interesting. I kind of wanted them to be flashy, the nice edits, the perfect music, what have you. And I still implement that in some of my videos, because for me it's fun. It's fun learning that. And it also keeps me thinking of new ideas and ways to improve my videos. A lot of people say it in their vlogs, is just as long as you improve 1% each day, you're doing good. So although some of my other videos have better edits than my newer ones, I'm still happier with them because my voice has changed. The way I look at the camera has changed. I'm getting better at speaking to the camera. So although my edits aren't as flashy as my newer videos, I think more of my edits were covering up my embarrassment or my shyness, however you want to call it. And now I'm getting used to it. And I was so worried about the audio on this GoPro because I know the mic is internal and I didn't have an external mic, so I didn't use it. Now I'm learning I just got to speak up a little more than I usually do for you to catch me, or for the mics to catch me. It's working. The only thing I have to work on, I think, is my speaking to the camera. I still feel like I sound like a robot, or I feel like a salesman, or I feel like, excuse me, like I'm trying to keep you interested, and let me get excited for you, and but hold on, let me not sound like a robot, and let me not sound like a news anchor. That's one thing I'm still working on, so bear with me. And the one thing too I'm learned on this journey is just to keep it simple, just to have fun. Now that this community is somewhat accepting me in, feels like a gang almost. I know, Harley Mack, you said what did you say? The DJI boys or something like that. I feel left out because I don't have a DJI. However, when I did first start my YouTube channel, I bought one of those gimbals for my phone, a mobile gimbal, and it went out. It doesn't, the app doesn't work anymore. And I've written DJI, I've emailed DJI on all social media platforms. Every time DJI has a commercial, I comment on the commercials, telling them the issues with my app and whatever, and they never got back to me. So I'm not gonna say I have a sour taste for DJI. I'm just not trustworthy of them getting back to me if something happens if I buy one of their products again. So that's the only reason why. And this GoPro, I've had it for a while. It was went on a vacation trip years and years ago, and I picked it up. Actually, my daughter gave it to me, and she told me I would like it. So I've had it since, and I hardly ever used it because I really didn't know how. But now that I'm starting to learn and that I can use it for this type of videos, my vlogging style, I'm really liking it, and I'm starting to have fun with it. And it's a lot easier to bring it out and just hit record. I will say the action cameras that you guys are using, I'm starting to lean more and more into it because you guys look like you're having fun with it. So, and it looks a lot more convenient than the GoPro. Seems faster, seems, from what I'm seeing so far, it just seems like you have more control over it, even though I don't know anything about the settings, the ISO, the shutter speed, all that stuff. I don't know anything about it, but the way you guys explain it and describe it kind of makes me want to get into it more to improve that 1% every day. So if that means attaching a filter or fiddling around with D-Log and however you guys say it is, I don't even know what D-Log means. So, and I don't want to look it up yet. I want to get used to this first. Get comfortable with talking to the camera, get comfortable with the vlogging, and keeping it simple and just having fun with it. I just want to keep having fun. And so far I am. So far I am. Now that I'm connecting with you guys and with the community, I feel it's a little bit more comfortable talking to the camera because now I know there's somebody on the other end watching. Maybe today's topic's not interesting to you, but something in the background might interest you, and you can ask me about it. So anything you want to ask me, go ahead. Luis and his vlog, like he mentioned, I was medically retired. I was actually medically retired when I was 38 years old. I'm now 48, so I've been retired for a while, and I've been stuck in this house because you can watch some other vlogs. I'm not going to get into that. You can watch that. So, had to look at my notes. Sorry, guys. Another last thing I'm going to touch on is before I really started getting into this YouTube, like after I did my first videos and I started losing the interest, like I said, I then started consuming more content. I then started going more to TikTok. Then I started going to Facebook. And Facebook, I'm done with it. But TikTok, I would just doom scroll. And then I would make a video on TikTok and I'd hit some pretty good views on it. So I'd get all gun-ho about TikTok and say, I'm going to concentrate on TikTok. And a co-worker of my wife said that he makes money on TikTok and he this and he that. And I said, yeah, it sounds really good. And then I go back to YouTube and start watching the content on YouTube and felt like, this is where I can relax. I can relax, find exactly what I'm looking for without this number 100 times, 200 times. So now that I found my community and you guys are responding to me and I'm getting questions and I'm getting involved more now. Instead of me getting involved, people are now getting me involved. And now I'm finding myself thinking all the time of better ways or better ideas. I should say better ideas, of ideas to talk about or what's on my mind that I can talk about. More topics in my book that when I'm writing my book, I remember things, so it's giving me more ideas. It's keeping my mind busy now, and that's ultimately one of the reasons why I started this YouTube, other than for my grandkids. My wife and I went on vacation and I did 2 videos on that, but if you noticed, I really didn't do it vlog style, and I didn't do it like I should have. And now I kick myself in the ass for that, because we had a really good time, and there was some really good scenery that I could have captured, really good memories for my wife and I, for my grandkids to see. And I gotta remember and keep telling myself, everything that I do throughout my day or everywhere I visit, my grandkids would love to see that. And I know I can't speak on their behalf, but I say that because I wish I could see what my grandparents did, especially my grandfather. I love my grandmother. I loved her to death, but my grandfather was the one who went to war. He's the one who, he had a very interesting life. He had, in the beginning, a rough life and all that. So I would have loved to learn about his life and actually heard it from him, not a bunch of, well, I think he this or I think he that. So later on in life, I don't want my grandkids, anybody to say, hey, so your grandfather passed away? Yeah, I think he had, I don't remember how he passed, but, or, hey, was your grandfather always, did he ever have a job? And, well, I don't know, I think he did. They won't know unless I tell them. So I'm gonna put it on here. And like I said earlier, on my channel, I have like 3 or 4 different playlists. My Tata's Life is for my grandkids. You guys are more than welcome to watch it there. But when I am making those videos, and I'm trying to get better at addressing them, because it does feel like I'm just addressing a general audience, but I really want to feel like I'm talking to my grandkids, like I'm talking to them, so they can remember how I talk to them, especially when I look at the camera and say, hey, why are you arguing with your mom? Anna, you really need to stop arguing with your mom. You get mad when she gets mad. So if you don't want to get mad, quit pissing her off and arguing with her. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Just leave it. You want a drink of my soda? Yes, it has beer in it. Okay, well then go get your own. See, she's going to remember stuff like that, because that's what I tell her now. Quit arguing with your mom. But she's a typical girl. She got to have the last word. So with my daughter, my granddaughter, and my wife, it's like a game of ping pong, because they all got to have the last word. I know they're probably going to, if they watch this, they're probably slap me for it, but I love you girls. Anyways, keeping my mind busy doing this, and not only while I'm recording, am I busy doing this, and what the hell was that? While I'm recording, I'm busy doing this and thinking of what I'm talking about. When I'm done, I'm also busy on the edits and doing the edits, doing the cuts, doing the pasting. And I'm before I forget, Luis, thank you for shouting me out in your video. And hey, I didn't realize I was a cool grandpa. Thank you for that. And the way you say my tag name is Ay Tata. It's like when I do something goofy and my grandkids just look at me like, Ay Tata. It's kind of like, oh my God. So that's where it came from. My grandkids just, Ay Tata. And my wife actually provokes them to say it. She'll look at them, she'll say, Ay Tata. So that's where that came from, is Ay Tata. It's a title I'm proud of. And when I started this channel, I didn't know what to name it. It's just, my name is Anthony Gilbert. And when I tried just putting Anthony Gilbert, everything was taken. So, and at the time I was wearing a t-shirt that I had made that said Ay Tata, and just, let me try that, and it stuck. So I left it. So it's Ay Tata, because yes, I'm a grandpa of 3 at the moment. I have Ana Lilia, I have DJ, and I have Talia. I love you guys, and that's it. That's my rant for tonight. So